Cool, and it looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Android Central's Hangout on Air. This is not a part of the Android Central podcast. This is kind of a separate thing that we're doing just to talk to some people who are doing some cool stuff, and so we are going to just jump right into it. We're not going to do a whole lot of introduction here from my part. We're going to go around the table and introduce everyone that's here, and then just kind of jump right into what it is that we are doing. I am Russell Hawley of Android Central, and we are also here with Jerry Hildenbrand, who is also of Android Central. What's going on, Jerry?
Pretty good. How you doing, Russell?
I'm doing just fine. We are joined tonight by Aaron Kasten, who is president and co-founder of IDEAA, who has been with us on several occasions, and we've been with him on several occasions. It's been good times. How's it going, Aaron?
Good, doing great. We're like family. Love hanging out with you guys.
We are like family. So you are here with a couple of different people to talk about two different events that you are doing in the not so distant future. One is the second of the big Android meet and greet Code Kitchen style events that are happening on the East Coast in the DC area, and the other is in Scotland, right? It's March of the Droids. You're working with them for an event this year, and as a part of March of the Droids, we have Matteo Doni.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me on the Hangout on there.
You even have a matching accent. It's my favorite.
Great, thank you. Despite my Italian name, I do have a bit of a Scottish accent.
You do. It's delightful. We are also joined by Ed Mancebo, who is a lead Android engineer for core applications at Cyanogen. Ed, how's it going?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. And last but certainly not least, we are joined by business development at Udacity's Chaitra Ramanathan. Please tell me I didn't butcher that name.
You did a great job.
Awesome.
It's good to be here.
We can just end it right now. Let's go ahead.
Russell got it right.
I got the name right. Nothing else matters. So we're here to talk about the two events that are coming up, and how all of these people that are here are going to be working together to make those events happen. Aaron, I guess we should probably start a little. I think maybe we got ahead of ourselves a little bit. Tell me about IDEAA and these events.
All right. I guess there's a large audience, so I just assume we've been doing this so long together, everybody knows us, but that's probably not the case anymore. So IDEAA kind of started as the Big Android Barbecue. It's evolved over the years. We formed the nonprofit IDEAA at the beginning of 2015, and it's just been fantastic since then. We've made some great relationships with other companies and some of our existing partners like Cyanogen. We've continued to grow those relationships and provide opportunities for each other that have been really awesome. 2015 was a fantastic year for our organization, and 2016 looks to be just as good, if not better. We tend to improve every year, so hopefully that trend will continue. But IDEAA is a nonprofit that is focused on lowering the barrier of entry to development, specifically focused on getting lower experienced or less experienced or even brand new people who don't even know about development into it and excited about software development. Currently, we're very focused on mobile and Android. We're expanding that a little bit this year with our first iOS event. That'll come later, but and we went international for the first time last year with our Big Android Barbecue in Amsterdam, and now we're working with the March of the Droid guys in Scotland, and we're really excited about that event. It's our first UK event, and we think it's really going to give us an opportunity to grow nicely in the UK and further into Europe. So we're pretty pumped about that to expose all these people these great opportunities in tech and development, and that's pretty much what we do. We also do provide very quality sessions for experienced developers as well. I know our nonprofit is focused on providing these opportunities, but true to where we started, we have continued to provide top-level speakers from Facebook, Google, Cyanogen, HTC, Skyscanner, Udacity, all these great companies. Got them all, sweet. And have them at our events to teach experienced developers, but then also teach best practices and to inspire these students and beginners into software and tech. So that's pretty much what IDEAA does.
Sure. I've been to, I think, all but one of the big Android barbecue events, and I've been to a couple of the meet and greet Code Kitchen events that have been around the United States. Really kind of bummed that I haven't left the country to go to some of these other ones yet, but
you were there as a robot.
I was there as a robot. So there's been a lot of hands-on experience both for me and for Jerry for these events, and it really is exactly what you say. One of the really cool things about it is that anyone can walk up and either start a conversation with someone about learning a particular avenue of development, or they can be an experienced developer and sit down in a really casual environment with other experienced developers and kind of pull knowledge and share these experiences. Jerry, I think your first event was you actually had two different events this year that you got to go to.
Yep.
As kind of your firsts.
Yep, I never was able to make time before, and I eventually said, well, time's going to get made, I don't care. And I'm glad I did. And Aaron, you forgot one of the most important things you guys have, and that's Ray Walters and his food.
It's kind of funny because the food is what really made us special for a long time, and it still definitely makes us special, but it's not the selling point of the event for us anymore. Now it's more the whole community and bringing everybody. But you're right, Ray Walters makes fantastic barbecue, and he is now traveling to every single event and cooking for almost every single event. So
wow.
That's pretty exciting.
Now, Matteo, does Scotland do barbecue? That's kind of a culturally insensitive comment, I think. But
I forgot he's not going to the international event. Sorry.
That's a very, very good question. So Scotland has a bit of a weather challenge in providing the ideal optimal conditions for barbecue. We do our best on the few days of clear sunshine and lack of rain. And we will be having refreshments at the March of the Droids event here in Edinburgh, but sadly it won't be a barbecue.
So tell me a little bit more about how March of the Droids is set up, either similarly or dissimilarly from some of these meet and greet events or from the big Android barbecue itself. How is March of the Droids separate? Because it seemed like when it started, I've only been able to watch it happen on social networks, and it's always seemed like it's been very much kind of a grassroots social event where people who are fans of Android are getting together to do things. So it seems like this year it's kind of expanding beyond that into more of a kind of developer focus.
Yes, you're right, Russell. So March of the Droids started off as a social event. It was mainly for people in the ROM and enthusiast community to meet up. Everyone had been chatting online, speaking on Twitter, Google+, all the social networks and forums, but had never met in person. So back in 2012, in May, we all convened in a pub in Glasgow. And it was a great success. We had a good time. Everyone met. It was a good event, and we decided to have another one the year after. This time we marched down south to a city called Manchester and had another great social meetup. There were no actual talks, but there had been some sponsors who provided handsets for competitions. There's a bit of social media activity around it, and it grew very rapidly. So the year after that, Gary Weldon and the rest of the organizers turned it into something slightly more formal with some talks from people such as Paul O'Brien of Modaco, myself representing Skyscanner. We had John Love from an electronics retailer called Clove Electronics. We had a good series of talks, had a good time, as well as the social side. It became slightly more formal, and the format was replicated last year, where we moved from Bournemouth to Birmingham. And again, it was a success. Everyone had a great time. It's an excuse for a social weekend. It's not just Android focused anymore. There seems to be a bit more from other people who are iOS users will come along just to see what this enthusiast community is like. And this year we decided to hold the event in Edinburgh, where I live and work. So this year, again, we've scaled it up slightly. There will be a slight diversion in that we're going to be splitting it into two channels, one slightly more developer focused and the other still mainly for enthusiasts who may not be as interested in the line of code stuff that sometimes gets shown off at these events.
Cool. So if someone is relatively close to Edinburgh and wants to check this out, where do they head?
Go to marchofthedroids.co.uk. That's our main site. Tickets are on sale there. And we have two options. So the conference itself will be on Saturday, March 19th, 2016, here in Edinburgh. And the Code Kitchen, which we have had great support from Aaron and the guys at IDEAA, will be on Friday the 18th of March. So we'll be setting that all up here in Edinburgh. There's going to be volunteers from various places in the area to help with the Code Kitchen and help people get a taste of or improve their coding and development skills. And then on the Saturday there will be the main event. So it's an excuse for a good long weekend in Edinburgh, which is a lovely city, great to visit, and a great opportunity to meet the UK Android enthusiast and mobile technology enthusiast community.
Fantastic.
We're pretty pumped.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah,
like a lot of fun.
I kind of feel like it's transitioning to where the barbecue was 4 years. Like when we moved into a developer conference, that's kind of where we're kind of helping facilitate that transition into a developer enthusiast conference, and
yeah,
it's worked out really well.
That's what that sounds like.
We want to cater for both groups of people, which often overlap. A lot of people who are developers or enthusiasts and vice versa. So we're doing this. We're lucky enough to have Aaron and Corey come over representing IDEAA, so they'll be here in Edinburgh as well. And we've been teasing this for a while. There's now the bigger announcement to be made. With other guests on the show.
Who gets to make the? You're making the announcement.
Shall I do it now, or shall we turn this into a tease until the end of the episode?
We'll leave that to Russell, because he's in charge.
Oh, hey! I just read what the announcement was. Let's wait a few minutes. So because actually I'm really bad at this, and so I've kind of ignored Ed for a couple of minutes here. Ed, you go to all kinds of conferences, I imagine, both technical conferences and kind of social gatherings. Have you been to one of these events so far?
I have not personally, although I know a lot of people here have.
Yeah, so Cyanogen's been like a big part of these events for a while, both because a lot of them are pretty close friends with the people that help run it, and because the contribution that Cyanogen's able to offer this has been pretty significant. Do you feel like that kind of social event is kind of a better way to approach the Cyanogen kind of user, or is that kind of too narrow?
No, I mean I think it sounds like a great way to approach the Cyanogen users. I think a lot of people who use Cyanogen phones are enthusiasts and want to see like kind of cool new stuff on Android, and it's a good place for us to meet them and them to meet us.
Cool, absolutely. Aaron, tell me a little bit about your partnership with Udacity.
Oh man, Udacity is awesome. So we started last year with the Big Android Barbecue, kind of testing the waters a little bit, seeing they were making an announcement with Google during our keynote, and we wanted them involved a little bit in the Code Kitchen, and they helped us out with some speakers. James Williams has been a speaker. He works at he's a teacher at Udacity, or one of the professors at Udacity. He's spoken for the last at least 3 years, I think. So we've got kind of an existing relationship there, and we really wanted to kind of take it to the next level this year in 2016 and create a really good partnership working together. To start with the DC event, our next event is April 9th in DC, by the way. Everybody should go. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be, and throughout the year, we're going to be giving away Udacity scholarships. So 100% you can take a Udacity nano degree and for free, or well, on scholarship. So that's really awesome. We're super excited about that. I'll let Chaitra go into that a little bit more because she knows Udacity better than me. Well, that makes sense. So, and then we've got more that we want to work towards in the future. We'll see how that goes after we try out DC, and we're really excited about this relationship with Udacity. We think it makes sense.
Very cool. Chaitra, how are these scholarship systems going to work, and are they just for, say, Android development, or is it for anything that's part of the Udacity platform?
Yeah, so it would be for any nanodegree you can choose. So we have mobile, web dev, machine learning, all kinds of goodies up on the platform. So 5 scholarship to winners of the challenges for the 2016 events and code kitchens. Something we're really excited about. We really believe in what IDEAA is doing in terms of just bringing together enthusiasts and developers, especially with the barbecue situation. I personally am a big believer in combining food and community. So yeah, we love the Big Android Barbecue, love IDEAA. Really excited to kind of launch this partnership and grow. And the other thing we're trying out this, I think might be going out an email soon, is sort of exclusive promo code just for the community of folks that are on this call and March of the Droids. So 15% discount offer on nanodegrees that they might want to take of their choosing.
Very cool.
Yeah, we think there was a really great synergy there. We think we've really got the on-site events education down, where you can come and get a taste of what you can get by entering into this field, or as a developer get more experience, and then we see Udacity as a good way to kind of continue that education when you leave. So when you go home, now you've got more to work on, and you can keep going. So we think it's really makes a lot of sense.
I guess now I got to figure out how to win one of these challenges.
Hey, some of them are really simple. I mean, if you look at the winners from the DC event last year, I mean, there was a 15-year-old kid, I think two kids under 15, and then there was
I remember that.
An older dude, and I mean, it was just everybody won. If you tried, you could probably win something.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's they're
sorry, older dude.
One of the really cool things about the event is that there really is just this wide range of people participating. So that's a cool way of doing that. Well, Chaitra, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us.
Anytime. It's good to be here. Thanks, everyone.
Not a problem. Ed, I wanna shift back to you for a little bit, because one of the big reasons that I had you on here tonight was to talk about one of the big pieces of news that Cyanogen announced recently was this whole integration system that is being called Mod.
Yeah.
I have 2 questions for you. The first, did you not feel like you already had enough things named Mod?
No.
And 2, can you give me an explanation of how this setup works?
Sure. So about the name, I think it's kind of an interesting name. One of the features that Cyanogen's been known for a long time is themes. And themes is like how you tweak the look of your phone, so you can think of it as like modding the look of your phone. And this mod platform is more about tweaking the functionality of your phone. So you have your camera, you want to add a bunch of extensions to it. If that's something you care about, you can do that. If you make a lot of phone calls, we have a number of extensions for the dialer. So I think the reason for the name is kind of something that encapsulates what we've done and what we're doing. Like a lot of things we're focusing on, kind of you can think of them as modding your phone, I guess.
And so this is separate from Cyanogen Mod, like the community-run project that has been around for a really long time. But is it something that is exclusive just to Cyanogen OS, or will the Cyanogen Mod users also be able to mod and make it Cyanogen Mod? You can see how this might be a little confusing.
Yeah.
I'll mute myself.
It's a little humorous. I think that's the plan. So there's a package we have. It's called CApps. It allows you to kind of put the Cyanogen OS components on any Cyanogen Mod phone, and you can use the mods that we have or add new ones. So that's part of it.
Okay, so tell me about some of the mods that you launched with, because I know a bunch of them were Microsoft integrations, where you're able to pretty deeply integrate services like Cortana and TrueDialer, if I remember correctly. So can you break down examples of how these would work differently than they would on another Android phone?
Yeah, sure. So we'll take a couple examples. Maybe one of the Microsoft ones and one of the regular ones. So we'll start with something like Truecaller. Truecaller, it kind of allows you to add this extension to your dialer that will do phone number lookup. And when you're calling someone or when you're looking at your call log and your list of calls, it just kind of recognizes who you're calling. If you were to use the Truecaller app, there's kind of two ways you can get it. It's either a separate dialer that you have to use in addition to your regular phone, or there's another app that is kind of a pop-up on top of your phone. So it's just kind of a more seamless experience for your user. And we're kind of doing the same thing with Skype. We're bringing Skype into your dialer as well. So if you're making a call, you can kind of choose with the spinner whether it's going to be a Skype call or a regular call, and do that with your dialer as well. So instead of having like 3 dialers on your phone, your system dialer, your Truecaller dialer, your Skype dialer, you can just use one dialer and kind of make a call how you want and have your stuff be recognized. I think that's one of the big selling points of it, just kind of consolidating the experience and making it seamless. And then the other part, which is a little bit different, if you take a look at something like Cortana, this is something where Cortana is an app you can download from the Play Store. But on Cyanogen, it has some extra capabilities. You can integrate it with our alarm clock. You can set alarms, wake yourself up. We have some integrations with the camera. We have like a voice control, take a selfie, a nice little animation. It can listen for the hot word all the time, hey Cortana. So it's an app, but it does more on Cyanogen. And because we're the OS and we can tweak the framework, we can enable that. So those are kind of like 2 use cases, I think, where we can kind of do something unique.
So the core thing here is really just kind of decreasing the total number of steps that someone would have to go through in order to use some of these services. Because the features are already there, but they're a few taps away because they're not integrated on a normal phone. Not normal. It's probably a weird way of saying that. But on a non-Cyanogen phone, more button presses in order to get to the same features.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so what are the challenges that developers have for bringing this to bringing their own products to this mod platform? Like, what's the what work has to go into any app developer saying I want to be able to integrate into these phones?
Yeah, it's interesting. It varies a little bit by mod. I think some of them are really low kind of touch points. So we have a feature where you can kind of put any experience on the lock screen. And to do that, it's mostly just normal Android development. You implement a couple service APIs, and if you're on Cyanogen OS, then that view that you're constructing can be on the lock screen. So that's a case where it's just like a few tweaks here and there. Some of the other ones are a little more involved. Something like, if you want to plug into the dialer and be another method for making calls, there's basically a service API contract that you have to implement. So you're kind of writing an APK, implementing that service. It's slightly more involved, but I don't think it's a huge hurdle for most developers.
Okay, and I know that this is a brand new thing that just got announced very recently, but what has the third-party developer response to this been so far?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've done like a really official rollout to widely to developers yet, so that's something we're still working on. But I think there's been a lot of excitement about it. We have definitely talked to a lot of companies who are excited about it.
Very cool, Jerry. What do you think about this so far? You've got to have questions about this.
I mean, I have a lot of questions. I don't want to put anybody on point with some really hard, stupid ones, but I do. Let's say we'll use Cortana as an example. Is this the same Cortana basically that somebody could download from Google Play outside of the special integration with Cyanogen Mod? The app itself, is it the same? Does it do everything else the same? The user would just have everything they would have had if they downloaded it from the Play Store plus what you guys offer, or is it something more special?
I think you can think of it as an extension. So Cortana does what it did before, and then it does more on Cyanogen.
Okay.
It has access to more.
That's about what I figured, and that's really cool. I mean, Cortana is just one example. My mind, light flow. Boy, put light flow right in. There's lots of things. This is a really cool idea, and I'm kind of glad you guys are doing it.
Thanks. Yeah, we're psyched about it.
Very cool. Thank you very much, Ed. Matteo, I have had you wait long enough. Feel free to unburden yourself, sir.
Great, thank you. So March of the Droids this year has a very exciting announcement to make regarding who's going to be delivering the keynote. So this year our very own James Bricknell has relocated to the US. Sadly, he won't be able to be present and host the event. So I'm taking over hosting duties. And the keynote will be delivered by Steve Condick himself of Cyanogen, who's coming over with a representation of Cyanogen. Both Steve, we hope Lee will be ready to give a talk as well, will be at March of the Droids. So for us, this is a very, very big step up, and it will be a very big attractor of people from the community. To many, Cyanogen is one of the main mods or ROMs that drives development and customization. This is a perfect fit, in our view, to the people who are here. So thank you very much, Cyanogen, and we look forward to having the crew from Cyanogen over in Edinburgh for March of the Droids 2016. And thanks to IDEAA for helping make this happen.
Oh, it's our pleasure. We love working with Cyanogen. They're like I said earlier, they're a longtime partner, and they're one of the best to work with. We love that they support the community like they do, and are supporting us in getting more excellent developers into the field. Thanks, Cyanogen.
Thanks for coming along, Cyanogen. To us, as I said, this is a very big step up. And I'm sure a lot of the people who are planning on attending are now even happier with the announcement that Steve will be giving the keynote.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Ed, are you going to be in Edinburgh as well?
Wasn't planning on it, but sounds pretty sweet.
Well, I don't like that. I think you should be there.
Just go there and be like, you can't.
Should get on the phone with someone and make that happen. All right. Well, I've consumed far too much of everyone's time this evening for some really cool things that are coming up. Aaron, just really quickly, the events that are coming up over the next couple of months, the dates and where people can grab tickets to attend.
All right. So first up is March of the Droids in Edinburgh, Scotland, which we've covered quite a bit. I'm pulling up the dates real quick because I don't remember them off the top of my head.
18th, 19th of March.
Yeah, 18th, 19th for that one. It's for the restaurant. The rest of them I was worried about. DC is April 9th. I knew that one. I should have just kept talking because I knew the first two. April 9th in Alexandria, Virginia. That place is awesome. We'll be back at the U.S. Patent and Trade Office, which is really cool to have a developer event at. It's a really nice place as well. Then we've got the Detroit Code Kitchen, which we're really excited about. That's a new event for us. We have never been there before, and are excited to kind of help spur more tech and development there. Where we're talking to some really cool partners. It's going to be a little bit different, and we're excited about that. That's going to be this summer. We haven't set a date yet for that, but that's coming. We've got Seattle. We're going to be back in Seattle in August. That was one of my favorite events from last year. I could say that about every event, so that's not very genuine. But it was. I love Seattle just in general. So I'm sure we'll see Cyanogen and HTC or somebody there because they're all out there. Maybe Cyanogen, I'm sure will be there because they're awesome. Really sucking up to you guys today. Then we've got the Big Android Barbecue in October. Then we'll be back in Europe in November, and we're working on something for September in South America, which I'm also super excited about. So going to be a crazy year, as you can probably tell by the excitement in my voice. Woo!
Yeah, it's a good thing you didn't just have a kid or something, or this schedule might be a little on the crazy side.
Yeah, traveling is interesting. This might be the first year that I don't go to all the events. Oh, and we'll be at I.O. I forgot about that one. I think
at Google I.O.? Okay.
At Google I.O. We're going to do an event at I.O. We're talking, that might be quite different than anything we've ever done before. It could be pretty awesome, like huge carnival style party thing. So it's gonna be
That's
be
not
really
fair.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
not fair because I can't do
Just
two places at once.
Oh, well.
Do it
Sorry.
like the day after I/O, just for me.
Well, I/O's 3 days. Do you need to be somewhere all 3 days? Maybe
Well,
we'll just do it.
if Phil's not listening, no, I don't need to be there. Phil, if you're listening, I have prior engagements.
Ah, that stinks. Well, if you can make it, you tell me which day you think you can make it, and that's the day we'll plan it on.
You know what? You tell me which day it is, and I'll get sick.
I love you, Jerry.
I love you too.
All right. Well, I think that's all of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I covered all of them.
Cool. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining us for this, and I know Jerry and I will be at the Alexandria Big Android Meet and Greet event, the DC Code Kitchen. So we will see everybody there who's going to be there, and I'm gonna cry as I refresh Twitter while March of the Droids is happening, knowing that I'm not in Scotland.
Before we cut out, I got one other thing that I should say, otherwise my communications team is going to kill me. If you would like to volunteer or help out at IDEAA, we are always looking for people to fill positions, and we could use all the help in the world because we're growing very rapidly and we have dramatically outgrown our team. Or if you just want to contribute, you can add us to Amazon Smile or just donate. So we are a 501c3 nonprofit, and we need money. So thanks. That's all.
Awesome. Well, Aaron, Matteo, Ed, Jerry, thank you all for joining me this evening. I'm going to go ahead and stick a fork in this. Enjoy your evenings.
Thanks very much for having me.
Thanks, everybody.